Try to sell them real quick.
These are good for a limited time only. Diamonds.
Keep them in your freezer. But what were some of the other things? We used to dress up with my friend and I, who lived just down the street. One day it was really hot out, one of the hottest days of the summer, and we just put on all of the winter clothing we could find.
What like sweaters?
No, winter clothing. I mean, well, yeah, sweaters to start, but coats on top of coats on top of coats. Like the whole family's worth of coats because no one's wearing coats in the summer.
So you got like boots and snow pants, coats and tubes, scarves,
pairs of snow pants. Our faces were covered, everything. Just little eye holes.
Just to go out and sweat it out.
See how far we could get before we start passing out.
Summers actually sounds kind of incredibly dangerous.
Yeah, I remember a dog walked by and really did not appreciate it. I don't know, just growled at us, and we can't. Well, we're big and bulky. Dogs, freaked out. He's like, I thought it was summer, and see this, like, So I mean, that's how I spent my summers. Sometimes we go down to Frog Island, catch some frogs.
What's Frog Island? You say that like, Frog Island, as we do,
Well, Frog Island, you've never been?
I don't know what you're talking about, so maybe not.
We should go one day.
Okay, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, do you like frogs?
Not especially, no.
Well, you'll have a bad time at Frog Island, I think. Pretty much, it wasn't even an island. It was just a little area of land that they couldn't build on, I guess, because it was just
swampy, I guess.
Swampy,
yeah.
But you were able to walk on it.
Okay.
But you catch so many frogs. You also kill a lot of frogs because you can't walk down those paths without stepping on frogs.
Oh, yuck. Oh, I don't like that. I don't want to go to Frog Island.
You can't find
I don't want to go.
Yeah. I'm going to take you to Frog Island.
Blindfold
you?
I don't want to go.
All right, whatever. Those are my summers. Nothing much to boast of, and I think this summer a highlight for me is getting you to Frog Island.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I was thinking about when you said Frog Island, how when I was young we'd get. I lived. I changed house at some point, but at one of them we'd always have toads that would end up in our yard because we had this like landscaping center right behind the fence from us. And so I guess that attracts toads, having a lot of dirt and mulch and stuff. But we would have our downstairs windows had this sort of like inset. So they were the window itself was maybe a foot down from ground level. So there was like a metal section with gravel. And the toads would fall down there and not be able to get out. So in the summer, you look out the window and there's just several toads. It's like, oh, yuck, ah. And we'd like all wait for my dad to get home to like grab the toads and fling them back over the fence. And then in our next home, we had a pool and a little decorative pond, and toads would end up there too. And so we'd take the pool net and grab the toad and just fling it over the fence.
Oh, no.
But behind us this time, instead of a landscaping place, was a pool place. A pool place and a garage right next to each other. And there was one time where we flung the toad over, and we'd always just fling the toad over and not think about it, like, get out of here, toad. We flung the toad over, and then we heard some garage worker lose his mind in French at the toad that just came flying at him from seemingly nowhere, because we had these tall cedar fence too, so it was just out of nowhere a toad came flying and probably hit him, and he was losing it, as would I if I was at work and a toad just kind of flew out of the sky at me.
Did you think it was the rapture?
It's happening, and you just sort of like, I'm leaving, fuck this job, and you go home to like curl up with your wife and be like, it's over, we're dying, I hope we make it. See you on the other side, my love.
One toad can destroy a man's life. You killed a lot of toads, I'm sure, because toads are simple creatures. They're not like frogs. You throw a frog, I think they can.
I feel like they're almost the same thing with different color skin.
No. Frogs are slim. I feel like they can almost glide through the air. A toad is just a little rock.
Chubby little yuck.
Yeah, chubby little yuck. That's what they are. They pee in your hand all the time because they get so scared.
I would never take in their hand, because isn't that a thing of the toad where, like, if you hold the toad, it'll give you warts? Or is that like is that just an old wives' tale?
That's an old wives' tale.
That's why I'm always using the net and stuff and flinging it, because I don't want to touch the damn thing.
You'd wait for the frog master or the toad master to come home.
Yeah,
your father.
Yeah,
your father was not wart heavy.
No, but I don't think he was using his hand either. He'd put a glove on.
Okay. Well,
he'd like grab a work glove and then grab the frog and fling it over the fence. We're a family of toad flingers.
That's what I'm saying, for all the little toad corpses. Yeah, I did have experience once with a dead toad.
Ugh, I don't like this story already. I think I've mentioned on the show how much I don't like talking about creepy crawlers. Yeah, and I feel like a toad, although it's hoppy, maybe make it worse than a creepy crawler.
They've got very gross little faces, gross little mugs on them. But yeah. I was walking home in the summer one day. This is a summer story. Home, and then this only works because of what a hot day it was. Mm-hmm. I was walking home on the road. Pretty big toad, like a softball-sized toad.
Yeah, they get pretty big.
Yeah, and I was like, what is this toad doing on the road? And I'm walking up to it. Its back is facing me. I'm like, I'm going to sneak up on this guy. I'm going to lunge at him, grab him. I'll have myself a toad.
Did he get cooked onto the road?
Well, yes. But see, I didn't know this. I just thought this toad is just sitting there. It doesn't know I'm coming up. So I get real close to it. And then you got to move fast with the toad.
Yeah.
Toads are slow, but you still gotta.
They're not that slow.
No. So I went for it, and my thumb went right through his back and into goopy insides. This toad.
I don't like this story.
This toad, I guess, had either been maybe hit by a car or maybe was really dehydrated, and he still looked like a toad just sitting on the road.
Sure.
But his skin. His toady skin had just been crisped by the sun, so he had a very thin outer shell of crisp, and the insides had, I guess, boiled and liquefied. So it's kind of like a picture like a moldy peach that someone
I don't want to picture it.
Someone deep fried just to get the outside really crispy. So I go in, it's like, oh no, and my hands were just so full of frog insides, toad insides.
Yuck.
That was it. It was a little crumbly toad, but the insides were very wet, and I was kind of mortified.
Oh, that's enough to see. That would traumatize me. And speaking of those beginning of what you did this summer essays, I realized not long ago that I've been traumatized by school. I think I have a PTSD from school because I graduated from university 5 or 6 years ago. Yeah, 5 years ago. And I still wake up every now and again going, oh no, how am I going to finish that essay on time? And I have that exam tomorrow. Oh, I'm so screwed. And then like 2 minutes pass and I go, wait a second, Seba, you aren't in school. You haven't been in school for years. You have no essay to do. You have no exam tomorrow. Don't worry. And then there's a weight off my shoulders, and I can sort of whistle and strut my way through my day now that I realized I don't actually have to do school anymore. But I still have like weird school nightmares.
This sounds not like a PTSD at all. This sounds like a way that your brain has decided it's going to improve your quality of life.
By waking me up?
By waking you up, thinking you have something horrible coming up. And then taking that stress away from you, being like, just kidding. You got a great day planned. Go out and have fun, Seba. You got no school today. And then you get that spring in your step. You get the relief of thinking you had so much work to do, and then be like, no, done. It's over. Even though you didn't have to do anything. And that's you probably had a better day because of it.
You're making a good point. Thanks, brain.
Yeah. You remember snow days?
Yeah.
How great did a snow day feel?
Oh, a snow day was so good. But the reason why a snow day was so good, to me at least, was I always hated waking up so early for school. We had to wake up really early for school, especially in the winter when there was snow, to get up at like 6 a.m. to go catch like a 10 to 7 bus. That's way too damn early, especially for me now. No way, no how would I be doing that now. But when I would wake up at 6, it would be like a half-hour struggle to get out of bed to get ready for school. And when I wake up and lie in bed and leave the radio on, hoping and wishing that they list our school as a snow day school, as soon as they do, it's like, oh yes, turn the volume down and just cuddle back up in bed and wake up in like 3-4 hours when I'm actually rested, and when it would be like a third period of school.
Oh, amazing days. You get to watch Arthur. You get
Watch anything I damn want.
Yeah.
Play some Donkey Kong Country.
It's all good stuff. You know, some kids go out and play in the snow, but
well, I mean, it depends on how bad that snow day is. There's definitely going to be some shoveling done, and ideally, I want to push it off to as late as possible, because nothing annoys me more than shoveling while it's snowing, and by the end of shoveling, you have to reshovel the part you started, and then 3 hours later, just go out and do it again. Yep. Let's just wait till it's done snowing, and then we'll shovel. This was my approach to a lot of chores around the house growing up. It's autumn. Go rake the leaves. I'm going to have to rake the leaves again next week. Let's just wait until the tree is clear, and we'll rake the leaves one time and get it done with.
Yeah, I can see it, but like, at what point does that end? I mean, that's like, it's like, why make your bed? You're just going to mess it up again, and then at a certain point, you're not doing anything ever.
Well, I mean, I would make that same argument with the bed, too, with my parents.
The bed just teaches you discipline.
Why? Yeah, I guess it's a teach you discipline thing. But I still don't really believe that much in making my bed. I kind of will.
Is your bed made right now?
No. My bed is not made right now.
I got to make my bed every morning.
Really? Sometimes, I mean, I'm not a very moving sleeper. So often, if I make my bed, it's going to stay almost made for like a week. All I have to do is open it up like an envelope, slip in, and then wake up and close the envelope up again, you know? It's just basically just fold it a little corner, and that's it. That's all I got to do, and it's basically made. And then I made this argument with my parents, and they were like, well, why are you going to wash yourself? I mean, you're just going to get dirty again tomorrow. It's like, yeah, but I got to go out and see people, and I'm going to be smelly and greasy all day. No. It's the same for the bed. No, it's not. It's not. And I kind of can understand the leaves, because you don't want to have just a lawn covered in leaves for 3 weeks while you're waiting for all the leaves to come down.
You got to wait for it to get really windy, and they all blow to your neighbors.
Oh, that's the best. Yeah. Well, all right. Well, it's summertime anyway. School's out for summer. School's out forever, in our case.
Oh, that's sad.
Our school's not been blown to pieces.
Ooh, this is getting worse.
No more teachers, no more books.
No more something.
Was it teachers' dirty looks?
Oh, yeah.
Were we circling back to teachers?
It's all about teachers. What is
Alice Cooper, this song stinks. So back to the burger.
Yes. The Uniburger.
The Uniburger. I've been here once before, last year with Kevin Agostino, former guest of this show.
Former friend.
And I really enjoyed the burger and remembered that I wanted to go there for this show eventually. Matthew, do you have any initial thoughts on this burger?
I like that we were the only customers.
I mean, I like the decor. It's like a nice, simple diner.
Yeah, kind of like a washroom.
Yeah, it was kind of. It had like red tiles, though.
Yeah. Just maybe it used to be like a big public washroom, and they turned it into a burger place.
I feel like this year being particularly harsh.
They didn't have any ketchup for me. You took all the ketchup, but then you very graciously...
Okay.
I know. I don't want to attack you.
Hold on. Their ketchup distributor, I poured myself one little Dixie cup of ketchup.
Yeah.
And then moved on. I didn't go nuts and overdo it on the ketchup. And then just so happened that it was like the last cup's worth of ketchup. You went to get some ketchup. There was no more ketchup. Not enough. You had like 2 little drops in your little Dixie cup.
Yeah.
And so I got up and asked the counter person, with a little Dixie cup, you mind giving me a little ketchup? Your dispenser is out. So don't be giving me this shit if I took all the ketchup.
Well,
I went out of my way after taking the ketchup and said, well, Matthew wants ketchup. Let's get Matthew that ketchup.
Well, it was very nice of you, but I didn't end up even using that. I mean, I dipped my fry in a little bit of all the ketchup. You brought me back 2 little Dixie cups, plus the one I already had. This is too much ketchup. I went from not enough ketchup to too much ketchup, and now I have the guilt of I got to use this ketchup. I don't have enough fries for all the ketchup.
I guess. I mean, towards the end of my one Dixie cup, I was kind of feeling like I should get some more ketchup, but I didn't want to dip into one of your ketchups